I literally 6 minutes ago, before you fiddle-arsed around with your microphone,
I had to manage my cables, mate.
Oh, wait, I'll hit record and we'll talk about that. I've already forgotten.
Okay. Is it related to
How does it
what?
happen?
What is it related to?
I don't
Is
know.
it tech related?
Mate, if I knew
Is
that.
it family related?
No.
My wife does it. She goes, I was going, what was I thinking? I'm like, was it work? Is it this? Is it this?
Man,
Is this?
it's so bad.
Oh, wow.
Filthy at myself.
What were you saying?
Just
so
an unbelievable struggle. Anyway.
But you know
It's
what?
great to be
You in the energy you spend to say, I don't have a good memory, you could be remembering things.
Stop it.
You know?
I went to Hornsby today and there was a guy there to meet me and he introduced himself to me and the cameraman I was with. And then at the end I thought, I'm going to go. I said to myself, I didn't get his name. I'm going to go back. I said to the guy, mate, sorry, what was your name again? Thank you, very good. And then as we were walking away, I said to Sam, I still don't remember his name.
You know, it's a
and
good
then I
thing
said,
to do.
I think it was Andrew. And then I got a
Yeah.
text message saying, hope Andrew look up. Yes, it was Andrew.
Yeah. I think
Don't
it's
give
a
me
good
techniques,
thing.
mate.
Repeat
Doesn't
the name.
help.
Repeat the name.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, repeat it.
Just say, good
So
to meet you, Andrew.
how you going, Steve? Yeah. Hey, Trev. How are you, Trevor?
Yeah, right.
So, you say the name back.
Yeah.
That's what helps me. And just remember it.
I had a whole editorial or talk on this very thing, remembering people's names ready for GB, but I didn't use it because we didn't have time. But
Yeah.
that was one of my fallback topics.
The funniest thing that happened to me was, speaking of memory, I interviewed Tansel Ali. Have I told you this story?
How good's your memory? You told us 2 weeks ago.
There you go. And he forgot my name. Yeah, I told you that.
This is what
because I
up.
couldn't remember what podcast it was
this
on.
legit cracks me up.
Yeah.
That you can remember everything, but you can't remember you told
But
that
I've said
story
it.
2 weeks ago.
Did I really say it 2 weeks
Fair
ago?
income.
Well, we weren't here that way. Where were we?
Yeah, we definitely.
Okay.
And because then I think you told it when we were away. We told it last time we recorded here, and then while we were in San Fran or something, you told it to like Stig, and I said, "Oh, this is a good story. You got to wait for the ending."
Yep.
Because I knew
Good
it.
ending. Yeah.
Spoiler
Go back
alert.
a couple of weeks if you didn't
Memory
hear it.
guy forgets name.
Memory guy forgot my name.
Headline.
Yeah.
You know?
He remembered 52 cards in a row in a deck of cards. But he goes, what's your name again?
I think I'm just going to write a note for the private feed.
Okay.
About
That's how Trevor remembers. Write stuff down.
Yeah, I mean we have to talk about that topic of political.
Geez, you got the okay, I can see that even without my glasses.
When I said political, you knew what that said.
Yeah. That's
pretty wild
You
stuff.
wrote that pretty small, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's a legit topic. That's going to be interesting. Listen, so private feed. If you haven't heard the private feed, you're an idiot because you should hear it. Right? It's probably better than this show, to be honest. Hey, probably better than this show. A very popular show. If you haven't discovered it yet, here's your chance to discover it and hear about all the other stuff that we don't talk about on this show. And just a warning too, it's explicit, so Trev gets a bit loose, and me sometimes. Trev more than me, but worth a listen.
We need marketing ideas for our podcast. I think we're very good podcasters. I think we're pretty.
We need a marketing.
We're
manager.
pretty poor marketers. And look, shout out to Scott at Espresso.
Scott, yeah.
I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
I love doing the Opus clips every week. I look at them and they're never good enough.
Yeah. They don't quite get there, do they?
They don't. We're just
because you need longer clips, or we need to be shorter. We need to say stuff.
That's what I think the problem is. We're
need
not
to be
we're not given the
sound bites.
zingers.
Yeah.
Although that one earlier,
that's a skill.
What did you say? It's better than this one. Was a great ad for this podcast. Really.
There you go. This is already a very high quality podcast, so that just goes to show just how good the private feed is. So
good backtracking, Stephen.
That was yeah. We don't want to take away from this show. This show's been around for a long time.
I just feel like we deserve more.
More money?
More audience.
Do you want more money?
No, I'm happy.
Yeah, we should go.
As long as no one pulls out of their sponsorships at any point in time. Here, so, I'm good right now.
Yeah, we're all right.
But no, and it's not. I don't think it's egotistical to want a bigger audience. It's just that, mate, it's a lot of effort, and I think it deserves more. Yeah, even though it does really well here.
Has putting it? We film every week now. For what, the last 6 months? We're doing
numbers are pretty steady on YouTube, but still.
But that's sort of grown the audience a little bit or not?
Yes, because the audio numbers are not down. That would be
that's
my
good.
argument.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Are people double dipping? They're watching and listening? Or
There might be
it's
some.
one or the other, isn't it?
But, YouTube's see, that's the other thing. YouTube, our audience there is like a percentage of what we get
of course.
as an audio
Of
show.
course.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I think there might be a transition because Google Podcasts is shutting down or has shut down, and now YouTube takes over.
Yep.
And now on my TV app, there's a podcast section on YouTube.
Okay.
Maybe that'll
That
help.
could do something for us, yeah.
Because both this and the EV show are listed as podcasts when I upload them on YouTube.
It does come up in my whenever there's a new one of our shows published. It does come up on my highlights on YouTube. Whenever I refresh YouTube, it's often there.
Thing is, it's not really you and me that needs that.
Yeah, exactly. It's another 100,000 other people that need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we deserve it.
Yeah, I
Should
agree,
we move
mate.
to America
I
and
agree.
become podcasters over there?
Why not?
They seem to do very well.
They do. Yeah.
All
they're
you need to
massive
do
audience.
is go and you get a podcast.
What is that?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She's got a
It
management
went
deal.
viral. Yeah.
She's got a management deal.
It's like remember that girl Chick Boom. Remember her?
Yeah, but hers wasn't a sexual thing.
Yes, I know, but
This
hers
chick-
was still.
this chick has-
Yeah.
She's an overnight star.
Yeah.
And she's probably going to have her own podcast interviewing celebrities
of
like
course,
that
mate.
weird Bobby chick.
Yeah.
Like they just.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable,
What
the
do
numbers.
We need to do something viral like that. We need to do something.
You do it. How about you do it?
Well, I'm just thinking, like, what I know what you're talking about, the hawk, the whatever. It's
You can't.
overnight
You can't
sensation.
think about virality.
No, yeah, it's all right. If you try to be viral, you can't.
No.
I think it's that's the thing with it. Yeah.
Look, I don't know. Like you can see on my screen over there, I'm currently watching Theo Von talk to Ed Sheeran. I mean, just think about this. It's like, say, a comedian who is admittedly not the smartest tool in the shed,
Yeah.
right? And he is in England doing shows, so he just goes, I'm going to record my podcast here. Louis Theroux, Ed Sheeran,
Yeah.
just sitting for an hour and a half, 2 hours chatting. It's
Wow.
great content.
Pretty good.
It's something that television could never do.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's not
Anyway.
up to us, is it? It's up to the audience.
We take your marketing
Yeah.
feedback at any point in
Do
time.
we get featured on podcast apps and stuff? Are we being featured? Like Spotify doing anything with us?
Spotify, yeah, what are you doing now? I'm paying you every month for the hosting of this dribble. You have
Yeah.
to pay for this now?
So the
Unbelievable.
megaphone.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's costing me money now.
Well, we've got skin in the game. Yeah.
Just to be clear, and I'll make this very clear to our audience, the hosting platform we use, which is owned by Spotify, they said, well done for being free for the last 2 years. It's now going to cost you not a lot of money, to be clear.
Yeah.
But the options were it can stay free, but then they can jam ads in. And I'm like, no,
Right.
we do
Okay.
the ads.
Yeah.
We sell the ads.
Mm-hmm.
You're not selling the ads. And they put the ads in, they give you 50% of the revenue. Oh, thanks. So I went, listen,
Yeah.
I got to pay $1 per download over a certain amount or something, but we'll get there. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think it's I think I like to have the simplicity,
Yeah.
the structure.
Well, that's what people have been used to for 13 years. So why change
Why
it?
change it?
Yeah.
Well, because it costs money. It's one reason.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
But you're doing very well, mate. It's all good.
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Stephen, let's do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech
Not a bad price.
with Trevor Long from EFTM.com
Really handy device.
and Stephen Fennick from TechGuide.com.au.
Great to have your company. Two Blokes Talking Tech, episode 640.
640.
No cake.
Boom. No, well, it's not quite a round number. Oh, it's round, but it's not
Is
a
650
it's not a
cake worthy?
milestone. Yeah, I think it's 50s.
Are you making the
Well,
cake?
put it this way: if you're playing in a cricket match, and you get
They'd
to
celebrate.
40, do you celebrate? If you get
No.
to 50,
Daniel Ricciardo, 250 Grand Prix they talked about. They didn't talk about 240.
there you go.
There we go.
Answered your own
Official.
question, man.
I'll get Victoria to make 650 cupcakes. That's probably excessive.
That's a lot. You mean to celebrate the 650?
Yeah.
Okay. How about 65 cupcakes?
That also feels excessive.
That's a lot as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's
30 plus each.
650, and that'll be before the end of the year. That'll be
That's
in a couple, 2.5
10
months.
weeks, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, are you going to count them when I'm not here? Oh. Just to do a little service announcement, I'm not going to be here for 6 weeks. So are they going to count? I know Trev's going to
This
probably
is
get someone
controversial.
else.
Do they count?
I reckon they should.
651,
Yeah.
652, 653, 654, 655, 656.
It'll happen while I'm away.
657, 658, 659.
And I'm back for 6.
I counted the wrong numbers anyway. 640. is going to happen, in my view.
640s today.
650. I was right then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I counted the wrong
It's
number.
going to happen when I'm away.
Nope.
Oh, so when
Guess
I'm back.
when it's going to happen?
The day I'm back.
If our
iPhone.
If our, yes.
iPhone. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm back. I'll be back then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, will he?
Well, wasn't there another milestone we had at an Apple event? Was there one at another one?
was, yeah.
Was there? Was 600? I think 600
I think
was an
600
Apple
was
event.
too.
Yeah.
Well, 50 is a week, so
It was iPhone.
It was iPhone.
It was iPhone.
Yeah.
Last year. Wow. And so the 50, it makes sense a year later. Yeah, geez. Apple have got us. They own us.
as long as we keep
600.
half counting CES and taking a week off.
That's correct.
Wow.
So we only, that's right, CES, we do the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, yeah. Thanks to Netgear and Arlo for being with us all that time and not being part of the Spotify advertising juggernaut. That's just how we like it. Stephen, speaking of travel, and yes, Stephen's going to be away, and we are still going to count, and it'll either be one bloke talking tech or there'll be someone sitting here. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Cardboard cutout. We'll just get a cardboard cutout.
I'll put some feelers out. Most of them said, stop touching me, and we'll see what happens.
They go, who are you again?
One of them was like,
Trevor who?
One of them was like, do that again. But we won't name names.
Yeah. Can I give you a tip? Don't restrict it to blokes either.
It's called Two Blokes Talking Tech.
I know. Well, break the paradigm, mate, if you have to. If you have to. Okay?
I'll give you a chance to write one name.
There's one name. Do you mean we don't know anyone? Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, you're right. There was a podcast that was all women, and I don't think are they still going? Okay,
Yeah.
right, okay. Well, you've answered my question, haven't you? Yeah.
And look, and we don't want to digress here, but there are definitely women in this game.
Yeah.
And most of them are now doing other things, or they're working for different websites.
Yeah.
I don't know them enough to feel comfortable.
They're also influencers. They're not sort of. They're not quite.
No. I can name some that just are journos that work for smaller or different publications that I might not know. But my point is, this has to work.
Yeah, of course.
And there's really only a couple of people who can fill that chair, and I'm hoping that they can alternate in some way so that we have a bit of banter, and it won't be the same. I'll say that, mate. It won't be the same. How are they going to do the pre-show? They're going to be like, are we recording?
Going to get emotional.
They're going to go, are we recording right now?
This crap?
What are you talking about? Should we start this show? I'm like, we already did.
They'll go, when's Steve back?
And then we'll play the intro, and they'll be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, thanks for listening.
You need to prepare them. You've got to prepare them.
Yes.
I think you've got to say, listen, there's a bit of a spell before the show starts where you think we're not recording, but we actually are. Yeah. So just be wary of that.
You'll pull them aside and say, listen, just so you know, Trev's cheeky on that record button. He reaches down under the table.
Quick draw, yeah. He's not reaching around for a feel. He's hitting the record button.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
What are we doing here?
We are heading off to Paris this weekend, and we are not going for the Olympics. We are going for the Samsung event, which we covered last week, and Stevie covered extensively on Tech Guide podcast, which you can also hear in this feed.
Yes.
But it's a good reminder, Stephen, that the Olympics is coming up.
Yeah.
And what better time to buy a new TV?
Well, I think it's always sales normally reflect big sporting events are coming up.
Yeah.
So whenever there's Olympics, whenever the footy finals are coming up, big soccer World Cup or something like that, sales tend to spike a bit.
Yeah.
And so we thought we would chat about, I think you've already covered how to watch the Olympics.
Well, we can talk about it now,
but also the actual TVs,
the
what's
physical
out
TVs,
there, what's available, projectors, TVs, you name it. I think that's a great opportunity for us to chat about what we've seen.
Let's talk prices first, because I think there's something to know and understand about how pricing works. We've just come out of end of financial year. EOFI. And there were great deals, right? There were some cracking deals. However, the way it works after many rulings from the ACCC into different websites and the way they say this is a sale and they say this is the standard price is, essentially, to say it's on sale, it needs to be listed for a certain amount of time at its particular price.
Yeah.
So what you're going to see right now, this week, in this first week of July, I think, is prices go back to where they were.
Yeah.
The regular retail price.
Yep.
Okay? So EOFI's finished.
Yep.
Regular retail price will come back. My understanding is the rule, and I don't have the law in front of me, but my understanding the rule is it needs to be advertised for 10 or 11 days at its recommended retail price for it to then be called a sale.
Right.
So my prediction is
July the 12th.
around mid-July.
Mid-July. Yeah.
The Olympics start on the 26th, 27th.
Yep.
So you've still got 10 days.
Yep.
Around mid-July, I think we're going to see some cracking sales.
Absolutely. Retailers they'll take advantage of that, aren't they? They'll call it. I don't think they're allowed to use the actual word Olympics.
No.
But they'll be able to allude to the fact that there's this big event happening. Get in now and get a nice new telly.
I think
Great
Samsung will, because they're a sponsor of the Olympics.
There you have it.
You'll certainly see Olympic logos maybe on stuff.
Yep.
I suggest maybe.
Well, they're an international sponsor.
That's right. Excuse me.
Yep.
So the first bit of advice is wait.
Yes.
If it's not on sale now, consider waiting. So I guess the example I'd give you is remember the 98-inch Samsung I looked at last week?
Yeah, it was down
It's
to
at 12,995. It's now at 8,955, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that price is going to last many more weeks.
Right.
I think if you can get it now.
Yeah.
But
is it a stock issue, or they can't keep it that low?
They have to make it a sale.
Yeah.
It can't stay that way for so long, as I understand it.
Yep.
So I think there's a chance it'll come back up and then go down again before the Olympics.
Yeah, right.
Is the way I read it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise how cyclical the pricing can be when they're at certain times of year. And I think we've already passed the point where the new stock's coming in and the old stock's going out.
Yep.
That's kind of the first half of the year where that happens.
Yep.
How rare is it that TVs are launched in the second half of the year? Although I know the
Hisense
110's coming out.
But look,
what else?
Here's the thing. I look at the JB Hi-Fi website right now.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of 2023 TVs on there.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with you buying one of those.
Not at all. Not
Great
at all.
TVs.
Yeah, great. They've still got all the mini LED. They've got the sizes you want. There's people. A common friend of ours, she was thinking about buying a TV.
You're talking about, yep.
And I tried to convince her. I said, get a 75-inch. What are you doing?
Yeah.
She says, no, it's too big. I was thinking, and I said to her, no one has ever got a big TV and said it's too big. But she decided she was actually going to go. She was coming from like a 42-inch. She was going to go 55. I said, look, while you're there, 65, go, and then she ended up going settling for
size doesn't matter?
65. In a roundabout way.
Right.
She said that's a comfortable size to watch. Yeah. Well, no, it depends on the size of your room. If you've got your room's too small, then you're going to be, like front row of the cinema. You don't want to have that.
Uh-huh.
So I still reckon she could have got away with a 75-inch, but she wanted to stay within her comfort zone.
Now, let's talk technology because it's tough. OLED is still king of the hill.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There is no better.
Yep.
And we can safely say that now because Samsung's got into OLED. Hisense,
Samsung's back into OLED.
Everyone has to dabble in this space because they know that LG has strongly won that argument for the last 10 years, but the price of an OLED is a challenge. So what I believe the messaging is, look, if you can afford it and it's there and it's the right size for you, get it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you need to understand that then underneath that is a huge range of technologies that will confuse you, but you need to do some research. So, for example, Neo QLED, Samsung's big name technology, Hisense ULED, there are mini LED backlights in these TVs. So you need to find out what is the backlight technology to your TV. If it's not OLED, which means every single pixel is its own light. Yep. If it's not OLED, how is it lit?
Yes.
And mini LED is where you want to be.
That seems to be a common technology across all the brands now.
Definitely. But they don't all call it that in their branding.
And even, like, take it Hisense, for example, they have mini LED across the entire range.
Yeah.
But different levels of mini LED. So if you get the mini LED X, that's got way more dimming zones than the mid-range and the entry level. So there are levels of mini LED. But a good move that mini LED is being used in the first place because you're going from button-sized backlights to backlights the size of a grain of rice. So that's a huge improvement right there.
And what that means, and we've talked about this before, so apologies if you know all this, skip forward. But for people that are overwhelmed by this, if it's a black screen and there's a white dot in the middle, like if someone's name is written, right, then to light that white dot, for you to see the white dot, there needs to be a light shining behind it. Yeah. With an OLED, it's just the white dot that's shining, and the black pixels next to it, they're off.
They're turned off.
Black. Yeah. In a backlit even full array. There's a lot of lights like this big that at some way will overlap that name or that white dot.
Yeah.
In a mini LED, the lights are smaller and smaller, so there's a little more likely chance that the region that's lit up, because it's still regions, is behind that white dot, and that's what you want.
There's less blooming, and you'll find now that like even a bright colour right next to a black is pretty sharp. That's where the clarity comes in and the contrast. So, yeah, mini LED, I think, seems to be now the new normal for TV backlights, for LED TVs.
Yeah.
And OLED, of course, leads the way. LG, they've just announced that their wireless TVs, the M4, the 65 inch is now available.
Yeah, coming out at the end of the year, isn't it? There's no pricing, was it?
I think it's
was there pricing?
Now available in 65 inches. Yeah. So for those this is with the Zero Connect box, and we saw, I think they initially offered it at, was a 77 inch first of all?
Yeah.
So big first. Now it's at a sort of more affordable size. I think this is going to go off, the Zero Connect box. So basically you can have the box at the back of the room. So it's just a TV and a PowerPoint you can have up in the room. And then at the back you can have aerial, all your sources plugged in. So it gives you a bit of freedom on where you place your television. And it's OLED. So it's ticks the boxes right there.
Size matters more than anything. You talked about this with the person we know.
Yes.
My advice on that is to measure.
Yeah, like tape it out.
Well, firstly, just get a tape measure out and go, how big's the cabinet or the space that we've got? Yeah. And remember this, like when we had an 85, we had the 85 and then there was a paint.
Which seems like a postage stamp compared to what you got now.
Painting either side. Well, I went, well, hang on a minute. Let's move the painting. So took the painting down and then measured out the 100 and then went, well,
you don't want to crowd it. Yeah.
Do the paintings still fit with measurement, with gap, and they fitted fine. You just got to move them.
Of course.
So, yeah, you're right. Get the painter's tape. Go to the website of the manufacturer and get the dimensions.
Yep.
There's
get
dimensions.
The tape measure out.
There's dimensions for the box, and there's dimensions for the unit and the unit without a stand.
You got to remember the size. If we say it's 100 inch, it's 100 inch diagonally is the size.
Yeah, so and that may be 102 inches because there's the bezel as well or something. You don't know.
Just on that, a lot of people who are coming from older TVs, you got to remember a TV is not something you buy like a phone every 2 years, right? You probably have a TV for 5 to 8 years, let's say, right?
That's right.
So say you're coming out of an 8-year-old TV today and you suggest, and I suggest, you got to go 75 inch. And they're coming from a 55 inch TV.
I think it's ridiculous.
Right? No, but I think if your 55-inch TV, it might have a bezel on it this big. It might have like a 3 centimetre bezel around it. I say to people, you know what? The actual physical size of the TV you're buying isn't much bigger than what you had. It's just more screen in the same amount of space.
Yeah.
And that gets people over the line. Think, oh, right, okay, so bigger TV, but not having a bigger physical. It's like when the phones went.
One size up might not be that bad.
So
I think that's why for me the measuring it out and putting painter's tape up, because
absolutely
LG, without naming dropping them continuously, but at JB Hi-Fi, I don't know if they still do it, but in their display, I remember seeing let's call it, might have been an 85-inch TV, but the demo reel that shows, right? Yep. It's great football, whatever, and then it stopped and it went. It drew a box and said 75, and then it drew another box and went 65. Then it drew another, so on the screen you could see the different TV sizes, and it's staggering how much different 65 to 75 is. Yeah. Because here's the thing: when you go 55 to 65, you've got 10 inches here diagonally, which means you've got all this space down here. But when you go another 10 inches, and then you've got more width, like it's a lot of extra screen.
Yeah, true.
It's huge.
Yeah, but. And just looking at the trends, though, all the stats that I'm here reading is that 75 inches is the fastest growing size and 85 inches not far behind.
Is in demand.
So I think 75 has become the new entry point for people now.
That brings me to my other really important piece of advice. Even though I want you to ride the sales wave and find the price, be cautious that you don't wait too long, because there's 2 big delay factors for your new TV.
Yeah.
Getting it to your house.
Stock. Yeah.
You can't fit it. It won't fit in your car.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Delivery.
The 75, the 85 will not fit in your car. So
unless
you need
you're driving a van.
It's got to be a big van.
Yeah.
Trust me. I had a Kia Carnival van. You couldn't fit an 85 in that.
Really? Wow.
And a 75 only fitted without the box.
Wow.
So be very cautious. That's why you read the box size.
Yep.
So allow for the time it's going to take to deliver. Might be a couple of days. Then secondly, installation. A 75 or 85-inch TV should not be installed by one person. It should be installed by a professional, and at the very least, it's a two-person job. You got to find the right mount. You got to get the right weight of the TV. You got to do a lot of things.
Yeah, that's the call though, mounting or putting it on an entertainment unit.
You're wild if you don't mount your TV.
Really?
It's the best thing I've ever
But
done.
some people can't. Our common friend, she said she couldn't. The structure of the wall, there weren't enough stability points
Okay,
to do that, so she's deciding to put it on an entertainment unit.
fair enough.
So it's not mounting is not for everyone.
Well, then that's a critical part of the decision making as well, because if your entertainment unit is only like this one in here is like 180 centimeters, right?
180 seems to be the typical.
Yeah, but when you go to
width.
100, trust me, the
Yeah.
problem isn't
If the
just
legs
the
are
width,
wide,
the legs can also be deep.
Yeah, true.
So Hisense, I know, have two mounting points, and some other companies do as well.
And you can bring them in.
in.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
These are all the little things.
And
you
even
gotta
I
know.
think Samsung TVs have now a central
Center
stand,
mount.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sort of you can fit it on even if you've got a smaller entertainment unit. But like mounting is obviously would be ideal if you can do it, and you think you're handy enough to do it yourself. Then good luck. I reckon make sure you drop the cables down the wall though.
Oh, you've got to,
because it looks pretty ugly.
you've
having
got
cables
to
there.
just run it. You can get the little things at the bottom where it comes out and looks
Little plate.
clean.
You make a plate. Yeah.
Like, you can get them at Bunnings.
Easy to do.
It's
yeah.
easy.
And there's plenty of AV installation guys that'll do it, and possibly even the retailer might offer that as an extra
Universal
service.
Home Theatre.
Yeah.
They are the best.
Yeah.
They are awesome people. They're very
Is
good
that
at
who
it.
you've used?
I've used them. I pay them to do
Yep.
my last 3 TVs at home and a TV we got installed at Arnie Shell's place. So honestly, they're awesome. And
I did
frankly,
my own. I mounted my own. Did myself.
how big was the TV?
65 inch.
Yeah, mate. Good luck doing a 75 or
Oh,
85,
no, of course,
champ.
of course. No,
Yeah.
no, I would. I'm considering the next TV we get in our main lounge room down there. We might mount that one.
It really
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Yeah. Although it being on the stand, it doesn't really. It still looks nice.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you what will happen the minute you do it.
Yeah.
Joe will put some lovely little knickknacks down there.
Yeah, but then it'll be a little bit
No,
higher.
because
off
the TV
thing.
should be at a good height. Soundbar
No,
down there.
TV
Some
should be.
knickknacks.
That's the mistake people make with mounting. They mount it up too high and they get a sore neck.
No, when you're sitting
it's gotta
down,
be eye level.
It should be that when you're sitting down, it's at eye level, but it shouldn't. It's definitely higher than where your entertainment unit is. Trust me, I've
because
walked
the
through there.
entertainment unit is only the stand and the TV starts big enough for the soundbar to fit,
Yeah, go bigger, go higher, go
reckon?
taller.
and the soundbar on the wall too. Because haven't they
no.
got now a little plate, a little?
I prefer
clamp?
a soundbar on the entertainment unit. I think it looks cleaner.
So no TV on the unit, but a soundbar on the unit.
Yep.
I'd prefer to have it all up there, mate.
Oh, mate, you put it up there then.
In my office, I got the soundbar with the TV
Yeah,
up
right.
on a. I think LG now includes a
bar,
little bar
yeah,
to
yeah.
hold the soundbar. I had to get a third party one I did mine years
Oh,
ago. I had to
poor
get a
diddums.
third party clamp or a little support to fit my one in there. So
No,
you
it's
know,
a tough line.
I'm ahead of the curve.
This
there.
will be, though, I reckon, the most exciting Olympics to be sitting at home watching.
Absolutely,
'Cause, mate,
so many ways to watch it.
I did, and I wrote this up at EFCM, but I was I knew, obviously, 9, and I do some work there, but I was blown away by the fact that I thought this, when they got the rights, I thought, okay, so they run a couple of channels on free-to-air, they run a bunch of stuff on 9 Now, the stand, you have to pay to get everything.
Yeah.
Mate, the only compelling reason to have Stan Sport is 4K and ad-free, which
Yeah.
is compelling, don't get me wrong,
Okay.
but
yeah,
everything
right.
they've got, except, the other thing is there's some multilingual channels there. So if you speak another language or your parents do, there's a bunch of international feeds going to be there, which is great.
So Stan's Olympic coverage is 4K.
Most of it is.
Right.
So they can't say it all is,
Yeah, right.
but my information is like bugger all isn't, basically.
Really? Yeah, makes sense.
They've got a separate commentary team for things and all that kind of stuff.
Because
But,
Tokyo was 4K. They had 4K for Tokyo, didn't they?
Yeah, but
which was
not-
3 years ago.
yeah, but
not.
what was brought in 4K? That was the
Yeah,
question, right?
okay. Yeah,
Because
right.
7 put it in 7 Plus, but I don't know that anything was in 4K.
Yeah, right.
And or I don't think it was easy to find. It was a horrible interface
Well,
to
none of the
use.
catch-up apps have 4K, do they?
I don't think so, no.
No, they don't.
So 9 Now is going to have the same 40 different channels. So think about that.
Wowee.
This is, I think, the first time you can genuinely go, I'm going to watch
a specific sport.
the rhythmic gymnastics live.
Yeah.
I don't care that it's not in the highlights.
Set your alarm clock.
I want to watch the Uzbekistani rhythmic gymnastics.
I hear she's pretty good.
She probably is.
Or is it a he?
I don't know how they identify, but they're
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
And so, like 40, mate, you'll be able to go,
That's
what's
crazy.
on now?
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
crazy.
watch it, right?
Didn't Foxtel try to do this a few years ago? Remember they tried to do that?
I looked at my article from 2012 in London,
yeah.
and they had 8 channels, and it was like,
They had
this
an
is
app. It was an
unbelievable.
app they had too.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
8 streams,
That
8
was
channels.
cool. And that was amazing then. Imagine now, it's 40.
$40. Right, so you'll be able to watch everything free on 9 Now in the app.
Yep.
Right, there'll be a bunch of highlights and all the stuff will be there.
Yep.
Better quality and no ads in Stan. You got to have Stan and Stan Sports. So the minimum you got to pay for 1 month, just get it for July.
So if you got to have Stan Sports extra, is that
yeah.
extra?
So $27 is what you'll need to pay, but you'll need to pay
I know
more to
someone
get
who
4K.
works at Stan now. I'll be.
You'll need to just pay you cheapskate. I do. You need to have the 4K package plus Stan Sport to get
I've
the
got
4K,
the 4K package
in Stan Sport.
that I pay for.
So just be cautious you don't get the cheap Stan package and then add Stan Sport, you won't get 4K.
Right.
And then obviously on Channel 9 there's going to be 2 channels. So Channel 9 or 90 will be 24/7 except for the 6 p.m. news, and I think there's like an 11 a.m. news bulletin.
Yep.
So there's 2 news bulletins. Apart from that, it's Olympics
All
wall to wall.
Olympics, all day.
And Gem is, I think, 12 or 15 hours of Olympics all day,
Wow.
overnight basically.
Yep.
Because the games are
Because it's
overnight.
live overnight. It's like from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. is the main day.
You'll wake up with Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
It's a
finals.
breakfast Olympics.
If you want to see swimming finals stuff, you've got to wake up at like 4 a.m. or something.
The finals start, I looked, it was about kind of 4 o'clock onwards. So there'll be finals at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be peak breakfast radio and TV. And then obviously the same radio stations, GB, 4BC, 3AW and 6PR have all the radios. So, you know what? I'm really excited about it.
I'm going to be in Europe on part of my start of my trip. The second week of the Olympics is the first week of my trip.
Yeah, right.
So I'll be, not that I'm going to be sitting in front of a TV for watching the events, but I'll be trying to keep an eye on things. See how the Aussies go.
I'm going to sit and watch some stuff, because it's always exciting. Yeah. I've said this before. I don't love cricket, but I watch the last day of a big test match. Yeah. I'm the same with Olympics. I just want to see. I don't care if they're medals.
Yeah.
I interviewed a bloke on the radio the other week. Kyle Bush might have been. Yeah. Anyway, weightlifter.
Yep.
24, turning 25, going to the Olympics. And I said, mate, what's your goal? He goes, mate, I'd love to get top 8. And I thought, good on you for not saying a medal. Yeah. Because, set your aspirations achievable. Pretty good. I'm really like, I want to see him achieve his goal, hopefully.
Absolutely.
And you read those stories, it's awesome.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Well, I think did I read right that break dancing is a sport?
Yeah, I'm not watching any of that.
Break dancing.
None of it.
How do you judge breakdancing?
How do you judge diving? Let's be real.
Well, you just got to not make a splash diving.
No, it's not just that. You've got to do the
of course, you've got to be great in the air and
when you're
everything.
watching diving,
and then when you got to go in the water, you just got to go and just no splash.
Size matters at that point.
Yeah, big splash. You don't want to do a big bomb when you go in the water.
Yeah. I always look at that, and I look at that Simone Biles is the US Olympian.
She's the world's best ever Olympic gymnast.
Imagine you're watching and judging. How do you count how many flips she did? Did she do 6.5 or 1.5?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's 5-time world champion and
she's pretty
triple
good.
gold medalist, so she's a genius. And she came out of retirement. Didn't she retire?
I think so.
And thought, you know what? I'm going to have another go.
There's no one better than me. Yeah. I'm going to keep going.
And I do look. I've got to say, I'm not. There are sports when the Olympics are on, you suddenly become a fan of sports you wouldn't normally watch.
Oh, 100%.
Like you watch them, you watch them every 4 years.
Beach volleyball. Never watched that in the time.
Beach volleyball.
I don't think that's in this year, is it?
Yeah, it is. Under the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, is it cool?
The sand, the courts for beach volleyball is underneath the Eiffel Tower.
That's sick.
Yeah. So they're going to make use of their landmark, just like we had it on Bondi Beach, in Sydney. But no, I think we all turn into athletics experts, and we're watching rowing. We're watching the rowing, and everyone's familiar with the terms. And then once the Olympics finish,
the coxless fall. Hey,
so all that stuff, we become. It's like mini experts on each sport. And will 9 do that? Like give a little bit of an explanation, like a little primer on each sport?
They always do, yeah.
That's smart because you want to know what you're watching out for, like what's good. Like if you're watching gymnastics, obviously if they don't fall, that's a plus, right?
Broken legs, bad.
Yeah. If they hit the deck or they don't land on the mat properly, that's one thing. But you want to learn other stuff.
You don't want to be Rick Disneck.
Is that the guy that hit the pommel horse? That's the start of the Wide World of Sports intro. Yeah. I remember watching that live. I remember that.
I punctured my larynx. I ruptured my spleen.
Is that on?
And I also suffered some minor bruising to my body.
Is that on?
The 12th
Man, right? I remember the exact thing you're talking about, where he just.
Tell me, Rick, did you sand blow out as most people believe, or did you just stuff up? Well, Daryl, I just stuffed up. I cleaned that up too.
Yeah. I
love the
do
12,
like
man.
they've been playing a lot of highlights on 2GB highlights,
Yeah.
and some great calls. Some it's goal for Australia. Some great
I
stuff. And Channel
struggle-
9's been doing the same thing
I
too.
struggle to listen to them because, and I have a great respect for the people making them.
flashbacks.
But yeah, that too. But Stig used to make the Olympic promos when I was producing the Olympics.
Really? Wow.
So when I produced the Olympics, Stig was the production manager doing all the cool stuff. And the best promo he ever did, yeah, you know, the Ian Thorpe raced Peter Van Hoogenband in
Yes.
Athens?
Yep.
So he made a promo, and what we did is we got Ray to, so this is before the games, we got Ray to commentate Ian Thorpe and Peter Van Hoogenband, just make it up.
Yep.
Like, make it up. Make
Thorpe,
it tight.
Van Hoogenband, it's Thorpe.
So the promo starts with, Olympics, and there's a crowd roaring, and it's just unbelievable. And you think, oh my God, this is happening. And then slowly what he does, he takes something away, like takes the crowd cheering away, takes the sound of the pool away. And then it's just Ray. And it's something, the line was something like, Ray Hadley trying, rehearsing, getting ready for the games. It was like taking away.
Yeah, wow.
It was so good, man. It was the coolest sound. Oh, I still get goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah,
I
nice.
genuinely got goosebumps just
cool.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
And those kind of that's the thing.
It's
Moments.
history. We're waiting for history to be made, aren't
Kathy
we? We're
Freeman.
waiting.
I mean, that stuff
oh
is.
man, that's just the stuff of legend.
And I said to this weightlifter on the radio the other day, I said, mate, and you know my memory. We've talked about it a lot. I remember making my mum a cup of tea
Yep.
in 1984 when I was 8 years old and spilling
watch
it,
Carl Lewis.
and I burnt myself.
Oh.
Like
You remember
like
that?
I spilt it because I stayed home from school that day in year 3, I think it was, and I watched Dean Lucan win the gold medal.
Yeah, the South Australian tuna fisherman.
Like, how do I remember Dean Lucan, let alone
Did
the
you
fact
remember
that...
that he was a tuna fisherman?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Dean Lucan, from South Australia.
No, but I think what I've given you is enough of a memory, like for me.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I said to this kid, kids will be watching. Childhood
Yeah.
memories will be made by young people's
So he won
performances
the medal
we've
in
never heard of.
1984. That's right, Dean Lucan.
84,
Where
LA.
Is he still around? What's he doing?
I don't know.
Is he still alive, Dean Lucan?
Yeah, I think so. Dean Lucan, weightlifter.
Retired weightlifter, gold medalist.
64 years of age.
Yeah, wow.
Born in May.
Would he have his gold? If you won a gold medal, what would you do with it? Would you frame
I'd wear it
Would you-
everywhere.
Would you?
If I won a gold medal,
Yeah.
I'd wear it everywhere.
You'd put it somewhere, wouldn't you? Just sort of frame
definitely.
it or something.
It'd be,
yeah.
I think,
Insure it too.
It'd be a beautiful, like the best frame you could get, but it'd have a photo of the best part of the moment,
mate, of
and then the
course.
medal around it. But here's the thing: they don't. I did a speaking gig, and Stephen Bradbury was there, just passing it around.
Yeah. I
I'm like,
remember
mate-
seeing that with Oscars. I did that with Russell Crowe's Oscar.
Yeah.
He was at a thing at Channel 9 years ago, and he just won the Gladiator Oscar. And that was just getting passed around at the Channel 9 boardroom or something. Yeah, I was still working for the Telegraph at
It's
the time.
like, why would you not lock that up?
I went with Sydney Confidential. Sydney Confidential said, "Oh, do you want to come with me?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll come."
Yeah,
And that was what we were doing. I held his Gladiator Oscar in my hand.
unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing.
Two Blokes Talking Tech and Olympics and just general rubbish. Episode 640. Thanks to Netgear and Arlo. We'll keep cracking on.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
And we do it all thanks to the great people at Netgear, and you can save good money by shopping directly online with Netgear. You can sign up for their special offers, which gives you discounts, plus there are always special deals available there. Like right now, their Orbi 860 series appears to have a $500 discount on it. I mean, come on, folks, get into it. Unbeatable Wi-Fi, unparalleled Wi-Fi, unbeatable offers is what they say, and it's everything. It's from your everyday router that's going to help for gaming, through to their Wi-Fi 7 products, through to their Orbi products, and then, of course, their on-the-go products through the Nighthawk mobile hotspots. Great products, great Wi-Fi, everywhere you go, everywhere around your home. You can check it all out at netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Now, it's been a few weeks, months now, since both the Microsoft announcement of Copilot PCs into Computex, where we saw a few of them in the flesh, through to a couple of weeks ago they went on sale. And here's the thing, something is either hyper popular or in big global demand when, frankly, the retailers are the priority. They don't even get them to us in time.
We didn't get a review unit until they were in stores.
Yeah. And now sometimes you think that's a bit dodgy and a bad thing, but this is purely because of the huge demand that existed for these products. So basically now there's a few of them on the market. Look, here's my number one overview from using the Surface laptop, for example.
Yes.
Look, it's a
So
beautiful
you got
laptop.
the laptop or the Pro?
The laptop.
So I got the Pro. So I got my thoughts.
Okay,
You
what's
share
the
yours
difference? Is
first.
the Pro a tablet with a
Pro's a
keyboard?
tablet with a detachable keyboard.
So I got the laptop. So,
Yeah.
look, it feels very much the same as every other Surface laptop to me.
Yep.
There's no real massive physical change. I'm still frustrated and annoyed they keep sticking with their proprietary charging port. I'm like,
You can
just
charge
put
it through
another
USB-C,
yes,
can't
but
you?
put another USB-C in, and then I've got more USB-C capable.
true,
you know what I mean?
they
it's
should
just
do that.
why are we clinging on to that? I
Yeah.
keep saying it every year.
It's annoying. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
The AI stuff is tough because obviously the recall's been recalled.
Yes.
The co-creation, in the image creation is cool.
That's great,
And it
yeah.
did the same stuff it did for me at the launch.
Yep.
I do now struggle. I think it's a great example of AI, but I struggle with when I would need it. But
Yeah. The translation's been popular too. For
translation's popular. AI generating, text and things in documents is great.
Yeah.
Copilot button is important in this era. But the big thing that was sold to us was performance and battery life.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't pushed it to its extreme yet. I'm going to do that probably on the weekend, do some video editing on it. But the battery life is great. And I don't know what number they quote, but at the launch they said
They
it's
said
better
18. Is it 18?
18
hours?
to 22 hours. They were like, it's a big number.
Yep.
I don't know that mine will get me to that number. Now, I initially had Chrome running. I thought, no, I'll go back. I'll just use Edge and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I got really good degradation of battery just like having a bunch of browsers open, screen on, 50% brightness, Wi-Fi on, and no locking going on, right?
Yep.
It's getting like 2 or 3% per hour. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Then I went, I'm not doing anything. So what I did was I fired up a YouTube live stream.
Yeah.
And so therefore, it's
using Wi-Fi,
it's actually
internet.
chugging down, right?
Yep.
And I was seeing, and I've got a bunch of numbers I will try, like written on, the paper towels in a bathroom, that come out folded. I've got like 3 of those with numbers written on them in Texter. So I'm going to try and deconstruct my notes. But broadly, I felt like I was getting about 7% degradation an hour.
That's not bad.
Which is not bad at all. And basically, to me, it says this is the best performing PC battery I've ever had on a laptop.
We've got the Qualcomm. Qualcomm.
Qualcomm.
Well, I've got the Surface Pro and similar experience with the battery performance. This one has the detachable keyboard, which is not included, by the way. You've got to pay for the keyboard.
Because you're buying a tablet. Surface Pro is a tablet.
So it's tablet, but they keep calling it a laptop.
Yeah.
And have you tried to use a Surface Pro in your lap? Like the key, the stability's not there.
They don't call it a laptop, though.
Well, it's like if you want to use it as a real laptop anywhere, and say you're going, how often have you just put your laptop on your
buy the Surface laptop?
Well, this instance, it's not that stable in your lap,
right.
But it does have now the ability for the keyboard to work when it's detached. Right. So it's like Bluetooth, so you can actually sit. Like I've done this. I've sat the actual tablet, the screen on my desk, and I've sat back in my chair with the keyboard and still be able to work.
Gotcha.
So that's a plus. And again, the AI features, recall, haven't seen it, but the co-creator is amazing. He come up with some amazing stuff. It's suggesting, and we've spoken about that in the past. The translation, if you need it, is great. I don't make many calls and talk to many people in different languages each day.
Or watch videos that don't have English captions.
Or do that. So I think that's what I like about it. It's got the capability built in for the future features as well. So the performance.
It does feel a little bit like a future device. And look, my biggest negative is they are expensive, right?
Yeah.
They create a new level of expensive PC when nearly all the time when I get calls about laptops, people are looking for something
something under $1,000.
They're either looking at under $1,000 or they might get to $1,500-1,300.
Yep.
I did convince someone that texted me the other day who's worked with me before, looking for advice. I did convince them to go HP Copilot because I said this is future proofing. Yeah. So you're going to spend an extra. They were looking at $1,300-1,400. I said, look, go up to $1,900 and you're going to be happy because I think that's broadly where they start. Yeah. I said I thought it was more than that. Yeah, I feel like there's one that starts early. Yeah,
right.
And I think that it really gives you that chance to just crack into the future proofing of your work.
What we need to remember too is that they're going to come in waves. We've got the first wave is the Qualcomm.
That's right. Yeah.
Range. So Microsoft, HP, Asus. Oh no, not even HP. Asus, Microsoft. I think Acer have got the Qualcomm chip.
Yeah.
But then down the track, you're going to get the AMD wave. So that's going to be HP. I think Asus, the ZenBook and all those ones is going to be AMD. And then we're talking probably late July, August for HP and the AMD wave. Then later on, I think in September onwards, Intel are going to have their chips as well.
Quickly to clarify, there is two. It's the Surface I recommend. The Surface Laptop $18.99 and Surface Pro starts at $18.99 as well. Just the
Just the tablet
256.
itself.
No, but the laptop starts at 256 gig, 16 gig of RAM. With Copilot Plus 13.8 inch, $18.99. So but the thing about that waving is, let me be clear, there's going to be confusion. So if you're looking for one of these, the retailers are doing a very good job. Now, the JB Hi-Fi website, for example, has a Copilot Plus PC button. You press it and that's all you see, right?
Yeah, filter.
Intel have a product called an AI PC.
Yeah.
It's not Copilot Plus.
Yeah, right.
So you need to be cautious about the AI labeling of PCs.
Everything's AI now. Yeah, you got to be careful.
They're all going to say they do some AI. They're all going to say they've got the capabilities. You need to be careful that you are buying. If this is what you want, you are buying a Copilot Plus PC.
And I've heard from my readers and some listeners on the radio that they're thinking, yeah, that's great, but I'm not going to need that. There's still a massive market of regular laptops that people want to buy. They just want something for their to browse and do emails and just keep things simple.
There is work to do to convince people of why we need these features.
Yeah, I think the customer who wants the latest and greatest they're an easy sell. It's the majority of the market who just your average customer who they're not editing and translating and drawing and generating content. They're just the ones who just need an everyday workhorse.
But I think the one thing that will push you into Copilot Plus is battery life. This is the first time you can buy a Windows PC laptop with frankly more than like 12 hours. It used to be like 12 and 13 hours. But the Surface laptop that I've got is quoted at up to 20 hours of video playback.
I think the Pro is about 18, Surface Pro. But there are others, I think, quoting 24 hours battery life and
some of them
above. Yeah.
Some of them pushing that hard because that's their advantage.
That's a selling point for them.
The Surface Pro that you have quotes on the marketing material up to 14 hours video
14,
playback.
okay.
So that's probably why you're seeing that.
Okay.
But I think it's an exciting time. I don't think it's something unless you're, super Windows fanboy and you really are going to use this AI generation stuff and you have security in mind because the AI generation is happening on device. That's good.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty much Microsoft have staked out the fact that for it to be a Copilot Plus PC, you need these processors on board. It's not like you can upgrade Windows and suddenly get Copilot Plus. You can get Copilot Beta, which is very, very much cloud-based. But so this is the distinction. It's not just a software upgrade. It's a hardware requirement that can enable Copilot Plus PC. Whereas later in the year, when Apple Intelligence comes around, if you already have an M series device where it's an iPad or a MacBook or the 15 Pro and Pro Max, then you're good to go for Apple Intelligence.
HP OmniBook 14-inch, which is $25.99, quotes a 26-hour battery life.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Isn't that wild?
And what's that chip running in that one? Is it AMD or is it Qualcomm?
I think they're all Qualcomm
all
at the moment.
Qualcomm, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snapdragon X Elite.
Wow. The
exciting time for the PC world.
Absolutely.
Finally catching up to Apple. And that's good. That's good for the market.
What's the word? It's energized the PC market. Don't you reckon?
I think we're about to see a overwhelming push from Apple into their silicon being just... You think about how M processors went wild. I think the iPhone 16 silicon will be AI wild.
I think I've read several reports about them getting ready for a massive surge of customers upgrading to the 16.
And I think next year we'll see M4 or 5, whatever they choose to roll out across devices.
Well, what are they up to? 4 with
the Pro. 4's in the iPad Pro. But will the 4 be a laptop silicon? We don't know.
It'd have to be for the MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. Mac Studio, when's that coming out? The new Mac Studio?
Well, there's a chance they go M4. Max Ultra and stuff becomes, you know what I mean? Like maybe they skip a number for their iPads versus because anyway, I don't know. We'll have to
because what one the iPad went from 2 to 4, didn't it?
Yes,
the iPad Pro.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Because they realised that
they've got products that are even numbers. And they've got product odd numbers.
They realised that the tandem OLED couldn't be done with the M3.
Yeah.
So they essentially got the M4 to do the tandem OLED.
Of course.
Which to me says, do we need that on a PC?
Yeah.
Or do we take that component out of the chip, build another chip with another name?
Yeah. But there's a lot of laptops that already have OLED screens, like the Asus and some others.
Are they doing tandem OLED on MacBooks?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they don't need that technology.
Yeah, right, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But how do the processors obviously work? Already working out for those PC brands then, to power the OLED there. So
No, but they're just OLED. They're not tandem OLED. That's the
Right.
point of the iPad Pro.
Okay,
is
it's
the
got the
tandem
dual
OLED.
layer. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand you now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to be with me. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Yes,
Hello, Moto.
Hello, Moto.
Remember that?
I love it when you boot up a new Motorola and that comes up.
Yeah. And speaking of which, a new razr, the Razr 50 Ultra.
Timing.
Is the new
Timing,
one.
anyone?
Yeah, so, hello, a week before a Samsung
well done.
alleged folding event.
Yeah.
They've decided to get in early, the Razr 50. And I think there's an upgrade coming this week that it will enable a lot of AI features as well. Is that your knowledge? Have you got it already? Or
No, I'm going. One of the boys is doing that because I'm away.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I got mine the other day. I'm taking it to away with me so I can review it. But it's a nice little upgrade. And haven't they made up ground? Remember the first Razr,
mate.
which was, you know what, a little bit questionable.
But good on them for being
not
in the
very
early
well
race,
received. Yeah.
But it wasn't well received.
Yeah.
But they just then went whooshka.
Yeah, they just went, you know what, we can have another crack at this.
This
And
one,
they nailed it.
this one doesn't look remarkably different to last year, though. There's new colours. The front screen, I think, is a touch bigger. Is it? It looks
It is the
just
front.
like
It's the biggest screen on a phone of its class, 4 inches.
Yeah, so it's slightly bigger than last year's.
Yeah, it's bigger than the Samsung front screen on the Flip.
And
By all accounts, the new Flip won't have a bigger screen
No,
than that.
it's still running with the
Still
little
little
folder
notch,
style
yeah.
notch.
So if it decided to go no notch, it'll be about the same size.
And my daughter's been using the Moto 40
Yep.
Ultra. Loves it.
Loves it.
Great phone. And she's often on the front cover doing messages and stuff.
Well, that's the good thing about this one is, and thanks to AI, you can get a lot done on the front cover.
Yeah.
now. Yeah. It's and I like the colours too. I received I think it was the black one, or was it the green one? The black one. I
Couldn't
got.
tell you, mate,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you received.
It was the, and they're going to have like if you want to, they're going to incorporate AI through the Google Gemini app. So if you want to, you've got a 3-month subscription to Gemini Advanced if you want to try it out, and then after that you can subscribe and keep it.
So essentially, this is Moto leaning into their strong reliance on Android, which is they do a pretty good vanilla Android.
Yep.
It's a pretty strong use of Android. And why wouldn't you just go, well, hang on, Google has Circle to Search and all these things that frankly Samsung only were the launch partner for.
Yeah.
That's really...
Yep.
Because you look at the Google ads on TV for Pixel now, it's all Circle to Search and Voice to Search and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff will be in your Motorola Razr as well as all their AI features through Gemini.
And how do you like the big 6.9-inch display inside? It's really long and narrow.
It's quite a tall
it's tall.
screen.
And it's POLED, which is the foldable version of OLED. Do you like that it's all in lowercase too?
Samsung's going. Yeah, that's just what they do.
Lowercase?
I think Samsung's going to struggle again. Their Flip last year was not as good as the Moto,
Yeah.
and I feel like Samsung is just going until Apple do it. We're not telling you what we've got.
Yeah.
You and I have discussed this. They've got something good.
Yeah.
But they're not
I
releasing
think
it until Apple do.
Samsung are leaning heavily into Galaxy AI too. So these are the first foldables with Galaxy AI, which was a big hit with the S24. I love the S24 with Galaxy AI. And having a flip phone, a folding phone with that capability, they're going to push that to the limit too. So, and having that's now the new battleground with every phone from now on is going to have some kind of AI component, right? Can't avoid it. So here's where Motorola they're first up. So and this is how much is this? About $1,700?
$1,699.
$1,699. So this isn't even like a 2,000 plus flagship phone with all of that. Like the S24 series were flagship, so decent price. Here you're getting the AI for under 2K.
This just competes head to head, straight on straight with the Flip 6.
I think the timing of it's really putting pressure on Samsung to deliver with the Flip and the Fold.
I struggle to see how they do that.
Yeah. And because the Flip and the Fold are going to be, well, the Flip will be a little bit around this price, won't it? The Flip's
normally this price, yeah.
But the Fold is obviously going to be 2K
25,
plus.
Yeah.
The battle of the folders.
I like it. I love their colours. They're like HMD and a lot of the others. They're now going, we need to stand out a bit more in our design, not just the physical design scale, but the physical touch points, the colours.
The names.
What are the names?
Spring green.
Oh, God.
Midnight blue.
Yeah.
And peach fuzz. Which one would you like?
Midnight blue.
Midnight blue, is that a song?
No.
I think it is, mate.
Is it? Was it an Apple colour?
$16.99.
It was just midnight they called it, wasn't it?
Midnight. Yeah, midnight blue is different. It's on sale July 17, and it is pre-orders are already started. And apparently you can, if you order before July 16, you get a free pair of the Moto Buds Plus.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're doing a bit of a Samsung. Is that your midnight blue? See, I told you.
Oh, yeah. Lou Graham. Let's go. Yeah, no, Lou, you can go.
You missed the chorus.
I don't know where it is. I've never heard the bloody song.
Let it play, mate.
Mate, I want this video to be on the internet.
29 seconds.
Do you understand how copyright works?
I do.
I'm not playing the friggin' song.
Okay. I hear.
Search for it yourself,
massive.
you lot.
It was massive in the 80s. That was came out around 1986, 87, that song.
I was too busy in my formative years.
Humpy Bong High School. Humpy Bong State School. Yeah, I was playing in the juniors, still playing in the juniors there. It was the year before I got graded to South. Yeah, that was a memory. It actually reminds me around the time when I met Joe.
Oh, Stephen's going all cuddly here.
When I met Joe. This was a massive song when I was playing for botany.
Moving into the Rabbitohs. Oh, it's so lovely.
Yeah, met Joe just before I got graded for Souths. Yeah.
All downhill from there? Yeah. Or uphill?
It was uphill. It was good, mate.
All right.
Great time of my life.
Wonderful times. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, proudly supported by Arlo. And Arlo, as you know, make a great range of home security cameras. And it doesn't cost a lot to jump in. They have cameras starting at under $100. They've got their essential HD. Is it still $98 at Officeworks?
Yeah,
it's around that. So here's a camera that connects directly to your Wi-Fi, has a 130-degree field of view, an integrated spotlight, really good two-way audio, can be used indoors and is right to be used outdoors as well. Mm-hmm. Powered by battery, color night vision, for under $100. So it's a great first step into your Arlo security story. Yep. And you can always, of course, add to your system. You can either add a doorbell, a floodlight, better quality cameras. They've got 2K and 4K cameras as well. The 2K camera, that takes you up to about $159, which that has 2K video resolution, same field of view, the same spotlight and two-way audio. And if you do, you do get a trial of the Arlo Secure plan as well. So is it 30 days? You get a 30 or 3 month trial.
3 months.
3 month trial. And with Arlo Secure, you can receive the smart notifications, set the areas where you want movement notifications as well. So it really takes the whole experience up to another level. The Arlo range of products. The two blokes use them. I use someone rings my Arlo doorbell, I reckon, 10 times a day. I'm talking to people through it, all the deliveries we get. So we endorse them quite clearly. They are supporters of our show, but we also use them for real. They're our homes. Trevor's got about 800 at his place.
Yep.
I've got about, I reckon, 10 at my house. Well worth trying out. Check them out at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Now, Stephen, not for the first time, an audio brand has launched sunglasses. Now, the last time this happened was in a very different time in my life anyway, in 2019, just looking at the people involved. And these were the Bose frames, $299 they were, $299 for a set of sunglasses from Bose with basically the technology in the arms that projected sound down in your ears, so you didn't need to wear headphones. You could listen to sound. Very cool.
Yep.
Then Ray-Ban launched the Ray-Ban Stories through Facebook, and they then updated those with the Ray-Ban Meta glasses at the end of last year.
Yeah, so they can play audio as well.
You can play audio with those. Those are $450, $500 because they do a lot more.
Yep.
And now JBL just comes swooping in.
Why didn't I wear them? I got them. I should have worn them.
Oh, mine are...
Where are they? Go get them.
I think
mate.
they're in that
get
bag.
Okay. Get them out, mate. Go get them. I'll be talking. I'll start talking a little bit. So the JBL Sound Gear frame. So JBL's taking their audio expertise and integrating them into a pair of sunglasses. And each of the arms you see is where all the gear is located. And you can then, as soon as you open the glasses and put them on, it automatically turns them on. And if they're already paired to your phone, they pair straight away.
It could be problematic.
These are you got the round ones. I got the square ones. You got both, did you? Square and round. There you go.
Let's go.
So here we go.
I think mine have just connected to my phone too.
I think.
So I'll just turn off Bluetooth for a moment.
Yeah, I had to do that on Sky News. I had to pair them to another phone, so that the phone they called me on.
Yeah, baby.
So these are the JB. So these are the. I think these are the amber. There's amber, onyx, and pearl. I think you've got the
These
onyx.
are onyx.
And so here is the. And you can see there are USB-C chargers on each arm as well.
You do need to charge each arm separately.
And each arm has its own little system involved, and they fire down into your ear. So when you're wearing them, have a look at the positioning. I'm going to turn my head here. So here, I'm trying to stay on mic.
Great for the audio podcast.
So here we go. You can, if you're watching this, I'm pointing to one of the arms here, and there is touch controls on the left one. Is it the left one? No, they're on both, actually.
Yeah, it's on both.
So
just to be clear,
nice.
the USB cable that comes with it is a single to double because you need to charge each arm. Because there is no wire or any technology running between each arm, so that these can then be an optometrist can take the arms off and heat these up to remove the lenses and put new lenses in.
There you go.
Prescription lenses.
So there we go. So there's one in there.
This is great audio podcasting. There's
and then here's another
thousands
one
of
here.
people going, boys, I'm listening on Apple.
Makes people want to listen to. Oh, hang on. Makes people want to listen. Watch it on YouTube. And so there it is, dual connection. There's the two cables.
I think we've got a thumbnail ready for this week's show. Anyway, we'll
hang on. Let me just put these on and.
No, not now. We're not going to. We'll do it after the show as we always do. But here's the thing: $169. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's the price of a set of headphones.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's less than the price of sunglasses
JB
normally.
Hi-Fi exclusive.
Exclusive and at jbl.com.au.
Yeah, there we have them.
They look so good.
So I've got the round ones. How do the round ones look? I think my head's too big for these. I think. Does they look all right on me? How do they look on me? Can we swap for a sec? I think these suit me a bit better than that.
Don't think
Is this
they
like
suit
connected
me
to
at
your
all.
phone?
No, I turned my Bluetooth off. So.
Yeah, man, I've got a fat head.
And so they power on and off when you open them and shut them. So it says power on, power off.
Yes.
Look, I don't think
they're pretty
rounds
light.
for
You
me.
know, they're not like it's.
They're a big arm. They're a thick arm.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Batteries-
big arms, mate.
Oh, give yourself a wrap. What about the flex there? But I don't think they're uncomfortable. I also,
They're very comfy.
to be clear, I've been wearing the Ray-Ban Metas for some time, so I'm used to a thicker arm on the sunglasses.
We never knew that, mate.
What?
And, you like the Metas. They're good.
No, they're good. I mean, yeah.
You
For me,
paid your own money for them.
they're just sunglasses to me.
Absolutely,
I just happen to have an extra
I got
feature.
sent a review pair, and they sent me reading glasses.
That's genius. Without your prescription.
Without my prescription in them.
How
So,
good is this?
woo.
When we were in sunglasses, I can peg myself on the monitor without, I think, people knowing. I don't think you can see our
Is
eyeballs.
that right? The
Yeah.
sunglasses do come in handy in public, don't they?
I was just talking about pegging myself on the monitor, not.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, mate.
But here's the
you
thing.
don't know where I'm looking right now, do you?
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't know where I'm looking right now.
I don't want to listen to sound. No,
But you know what?
the audio is very good, though.
I took these in. I was in 2GB studio, and I had them on Monday night to talk on air. We didn't actually get round to them, but one of the producers, Hannah, said, "Oh, I was looking forward to hearing about this," and she was pointing to the frame. I said, "I've got them in my pocket." She put them on, and even the same reaction my wife when she wore them. She goes, "Wow, they sound amazing. The quality is surprisingly good."
So the thing, JBL are not going to release an audio product that doesn't sound good. That's their heritage.
Exactly right. This is what they do.
I actually think these sound better than the Bose frames did.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And they
the
were
Bose
good.
were twice as expensive.
Yeah, $300
because they're Bose. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
And by the way, they don't
have
make
you
them
made a
anymore.
phone call through these?
No, not yet.
Because and I've explained this on my podcast. I think because you know when you see someone walking down the street and they're on the phone, right? You think, they got AirPods in or something. They're on the phone.
Yeah.
What do you do when someone sees you talking on the phone?
Yeah, like
when
I'm
you're
just
wearing
on the-
this, and you got nothing in your ears, and you're having an animated conversation, and they're thinking, "This bloke's talking to himself. What is he doing, this bloke?
You look like
This
you should be in
bloke,
One
this
Flew.
Fennec bloke is crackers. What's he doing here?
You like that One Flew? Huh?
Hey,
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
yeah. So
Just movie
that's
references
just one.
from
Just
Trevor?
yeah,
Unbelievable.
That's just
No
one,
credit from the man.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Good. But it's just something to keep in mind if you are making phone calls. You may get some strange looks.
Hello, ladies.
Bond.
Here's looking at you,
James
kid.
Bond. Another movie reference. Whoa. Trevor's on fire.
They are exclusive to JB Hi-Fi and at jbl.com.au. For some photos of them, you can check them out at techguide.com.au and EFTM.com. I think they're a great product. There's just unbelievable price.
Yeah. It's
$169.
so
You kidding me?
Yeah, that's under $200. That's amazing. And you get just buying a pair of sunnies that cost you that much.
You know,
Do you reckon?
you know where these are great? Mowing the lawns.
In the sun.
Mowing the lawns.
Mowing the lawn. I can hear.
Father's Day.
Yeah, and you know what I like about them too is that because they're open, you're not. If someone say, "Hey, Trev," you can hear them.
Yeah, but it means you can't ignore them either.
That's true.
I normally
true,
ignore
but
that.
from a safety perspective,
Oh, yeah.
it's good that they're open. You can't
Yeah.
have these closed in. It's physically impossible.
You know,
but,
people who annoy me most, people that drive their cars with AirPods or over-ear headphones in.
Yeah, why
that's
do they do
ridiculous. Get some of these, folks.
Is that the same?
Then
as
when the police are behind you, just to
you
get
can-
through,
you
or
can
an
hear 'em,
ambulance,
yeah.
you can get through.
Are these the same people who wear a mask in their car too? Have you seen that?
I don't want to comment.
People wear masks. You see that? Driving in their own car, they've got a mask on.
Yeah.
I know during COVID, it was like even that was overkill during COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you
some
remember?
people still do it.
Do you remember lockdown when we
I
used to,
do,
used to
mate.
drive to your
Yeah.
place? It'd take 20 minutes.
I do. Yeah.
It was
There's
unbelievable.
no cars on the road. Yeah, I do
was
remember. mate.
unbelievable.
I remember sitting over there,
Yeah.
and before we did the video, of course, and I remember how conservative I was. I think, mate, we'll be travelling in 3 months, and you go, mate, this will be 2 years before you fly, and you were right. You took the
one time I've been right.
yeah. You thought I thought, mate, in a month this will be over. We'll be out of here. Yeah.
It's wild. Absolutely
Yeah, wow.
wild. Anyway, good times. All right, Stephen, that's enough. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
That's a
episode
wrap.
640. We'll be in Gay Paris. You allowed to say that anymore?
A few people on the radio have said it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They know I'm
oui,
going
oui.
away.
Bonjour.
Oui, oui.
Someone
C'est
said,
la vie.
someone said, you know any? I said, au revoir. And
Au
I said,
revoir.
you know any more French? I went, oh.
Is that actually a term, is it?
No.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There you have it. Oui.
Vous parlez anglais?
Yeah, no.
No,
I do.
English,
I
mate, you
do.
do.
I do speak English.
Vous
yes.
parlez français?
No.
Is no.
Yeah.
Oui, non,
No.
merci beaucoup.
Yeah, that's thank you very much.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
it. That's
s'il
us.
vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît, please.
Please.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know all that, to
Do you
be
have a
honest.
phrase book or
You
something?
know, my
or-
mum used to, when we would go to bed, like when we were little kids, and again, I remember this, I don't know how. We would do this like Walton style thing around the house
good
where
night,
we'd
good
be like,
night,
good night.
Trev.
No, be like, good night. And then we say, what do you say? How do you say? What's good night in French?
Good night. I don't know.
Jesus. Anyway, there was like Dobry Nuch and all these bloody, all these languages. We had like 5 or 6 different languages. We'd go around the house saying good night,
Wow.
like yelling from our bedrooms.
Oh, how endearing is that?
I
That's
don't
lovely.
remember bloody good night
Yeah.
in French now. I'm looking
What
it up
is je ne
before the
sais-
show ends.
Je ne sais. What did he say?
Je ne sais pourquoi.
What does that mean?
I don't know. But Kylie Minogue said it, didn't she? I've
Yeah.
lost my mouse. I can't even see my mouse.
Isn't that? Do you
I've
wanna-
legit lost my mouse on this screen.
Oh.
So,
What do you want to look up?
how do you say good night in French?
Great podcasting.
How does, like, Siri's just brushed me? She's fairly can brush. I mean, do not disturb me. Might be right.
You idiot.
How do you say good night in French? What? My Siri doesn't
Good
work.
night. She's already said
Can
good
you
night.
ask yours? Because it may be that I'm.
Hey
using-
Siri. How do you say good night in French?
In French, night is nuit.
No, good night. Good night.
How do you say good night in French?
In French, good night is
Bonne nuit.
bonne nuit.
No, what does it say? Read it out. See, isn't it funny? We used to say like bonne notte or something, but it's bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Anyways, no one I'm going to be saying good night to when I'm in France, so it doesn't really matter.
How about your wife on the phone? Bonne
Mate,
nuit.
she won't ring me for a week. What are you talking about?
Text it to her.
No, she'll be like, go away. You're in Paris. Stop rubbing it in.
Yeah.
We're in
Have
Paris
you ever
for
taken
3
your wife
days.
to Paris?
No.
Maybe down the track, mate.
Mate, how much money do you think I've got? Listen, Mr. I'm close to paying off my mortgage if I haven't already. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm 30 years away from that.
Okay. But you got to make these these little things, these stages in your life, mate. You got to sort of, set a little goal and
Yeah, mate, I could have
a
taken the
plan.
whole family to Paris, but the
Yep.
tax man wants half my money.
Yeah.
And you know that as well as I do.
I know, yeah, I do, mate. See, my back tooth is missing over here. Did you notice?
All right. Farewell. Good
Goodbye.
night. Good day to you.
Good night.
Everything about tech you
Au
never
revoir.
wanted to know.
Oui, oui.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.